Let's just end on this report from the National Audit Office on immigration and the cost of hosting immigrants in the UK. They're saying £1.2 billion, the cost of the Home Office large site scheme to house asylum seekers, and that is going to be more expensive than the cost of keeping asylum seekers in hotels. So this was their conclusion. The Home Office has made progress in its plan to reduce the use of hotels to accommodate people seeking asylum, but in rapidly progressing its plans to establish large sites, it has incurred nugatory spending and increased risk. The site at Scampton is yet to be opened. The Wethersfield and the Bibby Stockholm are accommodating far fewer people than originally planned. It appears inevitable that collectively these early sites will now cost more than the alternative of using hotels. The Home Office plans to develop a coherent strategy for the type and quantity of accommodation it needs are welcome, but it needs to build flexibility because the inherent difficulty of predicting the number of people who might choose to seek asylum and the uncertainty created by the implementation of the Illegal Migration Act. And I just want to remind everybody about the amount of money that is made through people trafficking and human traffickers. Now, this $150 billion, whatever that is in pounds, is only for forced labour. But as we can see, forced labour is only 38% of the total of the 21 million victims of human trafficking worldwide. 8% is for other, including organ trafficking. But the main section of this is sexual exploitation, and many, many children involved in that. Now, we've made the point that the UK government's response to human trafficking is in the total of something around £150 million a year. 150 million, not 150 billion. So, in other words, that 150 million is effectively the cost of doing business. And they're doing nothing through their war program and so on to stop trafficking. They're doing nothing to stop the criminals that are involved in trafficking. It seems to me that if we're going to spend 1.2 billion on accommodating people when they get here, what would happen if we spent 1.2 billion instead of a few million on actually trying to deal with the problem in the first place? And in fact, if we stop the war policy, then perhaps we have a lot more money to do that. Just a thought. Let's just end with the BBC because this tweet I saw from Concerned Citizen today. BBC can't even tell the truth about their reporter's location. Watch the same vehicles on loop as she is apparently live. Obvious green screen. Legacy media is dead. So we have this little bit of video. We just thought you'd like to see it for a bit of amusement. Watch the background and listen for the horns.
To you, tell us more about what's been happening. Obviously, tension between the two countries running very high in recent times.
Very high, Anita, and in fact, the last few minutes, we've just had confirmation from the Foreign Ministry here in Pakistan confirming that Pakistan did carry out attacks inside Afghanistan territory. The statement has come saying that this morning Pakistan carried out intelligence-based anti-terrorist operations in the border regions inside Afghanistan. They say that the target of the operations was a particular terrorist group that is responsible, they say, for multiple...
Okay, so you get the point. Now, I'm going to hold our hands up and say, what's behind this may not really be there and so on. And maybe perhaps we could be accused of the same thing. But actually, since we have less than a fraction of 1% of the budget of BBC News, I think that's fair enough. In their case, that is clearly misrepresentation. They've gone quite a bit of effort to persuade everybody that the traffic noise was there and so on, although the green screen itself was pretty poor. Not that Charles is better than I am. I don't have any hair to have this problem around the edges with. But Vanessa, very quickly, thoughts?
What can I say, really? I mean, it takes me back to, I think it was the start of the SMO in Ukraine, and it was Lindsay Hilsum of Channel 4 who was on a balcony, which could have been virtually anywhere at the time. So, yeah,
Yeah, don't believe anything you see on the BBC. It's basically the thoughts there. Okay, let's leave it there for today. Thank you very much to Vanessa and Charles for being with me today. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back in a few minutes if you're a UK Column member for some extra Otherwise, don't forget the interview at 1 p.m. tomorrow on fluoride, and we'll see you at 1 p.m. for the news as usual on Friday. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.